The first story is about a woman named Sarah who had been using a popular dating app for a few months. She had gone on a few dates, but had not found anyone she connected with until she matched with a man named Jason. Jason was charming, funny, and seemed like the perfect guy. They talked for weeks before finally deciding to meet in person. Sarah was excited and nervous for their first date. When Sarah arrived at the restaurant they had agreed to meet at, she immediately noticed that something was off. Jason looked nothing like his pictures on the app. He was significantly older and much heavier. However, Sarah decided to give him the benefit of the doubt and tried to enjoy their date. But things quickly took a turn for the worse when Jason began to make inappropriate comments and touch Sarah inappropriately. She tried to leave, but he wouldn't let her go. It wasn't until a group of strangers intervened that Sarah was able to escape. Sarah's heart was pounding as she rushed out of the restaurant, tears streaming down her face. She felt violated, and her mind was racing with thoughts of what could have happened if those strangers hadn't stepped in to help her. She couldn't believe that someone she had felt such a connection with over the phone could turn out to be such a monster. Sarah spent the next few days in a state of shock and disbelief. She couldn't shake the feeling of violation and betrayal that had come with her experience with Jason. She had trusted him and had put herself in a vulnerable position, only to be taken advantage of. Despite her trauma, Sarah refused to let this experience define her. She knew that she had to take action to make sure that Jason couldn't hurt anyone else. She contacted the dating app company and reported Jason's account, providing them with all the details of her experience. She also went to the police and reported the assault, hoping that they would be able to track down and arrest Jason. Over the next few weeks, Sarah went through a roller coaster of emotions. She was terrified of running into Jason again, but she also felt empowered by taking control of the situation and standing up for herself. She received support from her friends and family, and slowly began to regain her confidence and sense of self-worth. Eventually, the police were able to track down Jason and arrest him for assault. Sarah felt a sense of relief knowing that he was no longer a threat to other women. She also felt proud of herself for standing up to him and taking action to ensure that justice was served. Sarah's experience with Jason was a terrifying reminder of the dangers of online dating. While it's important to keep an open mind and be willing to take risks when it comes to meeting new people, it's equally important to prioritize your safety and trust your instincts. Sarah learned this lesson the hard way, but she emerged from the experience stronger and more resilient than ever before. Despite the trauma of her experience with Jason, Sarah refused to give up on finding love. She took a break from dating apps for a while, but eventually decided to give them another try. This time, she was much more cautious and careful in her approach. She made sure to thoroughly vet anyone she matched with, and always met them in public places where she felt safe. One day, Sarah matched with a man named Alex. They hit it off immediately and spent weeks getting to know each other over the phone. Sarah was hesitant to meet him in person, given her previous experience, but Alex was patient and understanding. He assured her that he would never do anything to make her feel uncomfortable or unsafe. Eventually, Sarah agreed to meet Alex for a date. They went to a small coffee shop in the city and spent hours talking and laughing together. Sarah felt a connection with Alex that she had never felt with anyone else. She was amazed at how easy it was to talk to him, and how comfortable she felt in his presence. Over the next few months, Sarah and Alex grew closer and closer. They went on more dates, met each other's friends and family, and even went on a vacation together. Sarah felt like she had finally found the person she had been searching for. But just when things seemed to be going perfectly, Sarah's worst nightmare came true. One day, she received a message from a woman on the dating app, warning her about Alex. The woman claimed that Alex had been seeing multiple women at the same time and that he had a history of cheating and lying. Sarah was devastated. She couldn't believe that the man she had fallen in love with could be capable of such betrayal. She confronted Alex about the allegations, but he denied everything. Sarah was torn between her love for Alex and her fear of being hurt again. In the end, Sarah decided to trust her instincts and cut ties with Alex. She realized that her own safety and well-being had to come first, no matter how much she cared for him. It was a painful decision, but Sarah knew that she had to be true to herself and her own values. Sarah's experiences with dating apps had been a roller coaster of highs and lows. She had met both a monster and a Prince Charming, but had ultimately learned that she needed to be cautious and discerning in her approach to online dating. While it could be a powerful tool for finding love, it could also be a dangerous one if not used wisely. Sarah emerged from her experiences stronger and more resilient than ever before, ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. The second story is about a man named Alex who had just moved to a new city and was looking to meet new people. He decided to download a dating app and quickly matched with a woman named Emma. Emma seemed sweet and kind, and they hit it off immediately. They went on a few dates and things were going well until one night, Emma invited Alex over to her place for dinner. When Alex arrived, he noticed that the atmosphere was tense. Emma seemed on edge and nervous. As they sat down to eat, Emma began to ask Alex strange questions about his personal life. Then, out of nowhere, Emma started to talk about her ex-boyfriend and how he had died in a car accident. Alex tried to comfort her, but Emma's behavior became erratic and unpredictable. Eventually, she started screaming and throwing things at Alex. It wasn't until he called the police that he was able to escape safely. The experience with Emma had shaken Alex to his core. He had never encountered someone so unstable and unpredictable before. He tried to put the incident behind him and move on, but he couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered with him long after their encounter. Despite his reservations, Alex continued to use the dating app in the hopes of finding someone who was a better match for him. He matched with a woman named Samantha, who seemed to be everything he was looking for. They hit it off right away and quickly began dating exclusively. Things were going well with Samantha, until one day, Alex noticed that she had become increasingly possessive and jealous. She would constantly check his phone and social media accounts, and would even follow him when he went out with his friends. Alex tried to talk to her about her behavior, but Samantha became defensive and angry. One night, Alex went out with his friends to a bar. As he was leaving, he noticed that Samantha was waiting for him outside. She was furious and accused him of cheating on her. Alex tried to explain that he had done nothing wrong, but Samantha wouldn't listen. She attacked him, scratching and hitting him until he was able to push her away and run for safety. The incident with Samantha was the final straw for Alex. He realized that he had been using dating apps as a way to escape from his problems, but in the end, they had only made his life more complicated and dangerous. He decided to take a break from dating apps and focus on himself for a while. In the end, Alex learned that it was important to be cautious and discerning when using dating apps. While they could be a great way to meet new people, they could also be a breeding ground for dangerous and unstable individuals. Alex emerged from his experiences stronger and more self-aware, ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. As time passed, Alex focused on his personal growth and healing. He took up new hobbies and reconnected with old friends. He learned to trust his instincts and listen to his gut when it came to meeting new people. Eventually, Alex felt ready to dip his toe back into the dating pool. He was hesitant at first, but he decided to give it another try. He was cautious about who he matched with and made sure to take his time getting to know them before meeting in person. One day, Alex matched with a woman named Lauren. They hit it off right away and quickly realized that they had a lot in common. They talked for weeks before finally deciding to meet in person. When they met, Alex was pleasantly surprised to find that Lauren was just as kind, funny, and smart as she had seemed over messages. They had a great first date and continued to see each other. As their relationship progressed, Alex realized that he had never felt this way before. Lauren was kind, caring, and supportive. She accepted him for who he was, flaws and all, and made him feel loved in a way he had never experienced before. Eventually, Alex knew that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with Lauren. He proposed to her and she said yes. They got married a year later in a small ceremony surrounded by their closest friends and family. Looking back on his experiences with dating apps, Alex knew that he had come a long way. He had been through some scary and difficult situations, but he had emerged from them stronger and more self-aware. He knew that finding true love was never easy, but he was grateful to have found Lauren and to know that they had each other for the rest of their lives. The third story is about a woman named Jessica who had been using a dating app for a few months. She had gone on a few dates, but none of them had panned out until she matched with a man named Michael. Michael was handsome and charming, and they quickly hit it off. They went on several dates and Jessica thought that she had finally found the one. However, things took a dark turn when Jessica discovered that Michael was actually married with children. When she confronted him, he became angry and threatened to harm her if she told anyone about their relationship. Jessica was terrified and didn't know what to do. She eventually went to the police and was able to get a restraining order against Michael, but she still lives in fear of what he might do. Jessica's life became a nightmare as Michael continued to harass and threaten her even after the restraining order was put in place. She had to move to a different city and change her phone number, but even then, she felt like she was always looking over her shoulder. Despite the traumatic experience with Michael, Jessica knew that she couldn't let one bad experience ruin her chance at finding love. She decided to give the dating app another chance, but this time she was much more careful about who she matched with. After weeks of talking to different people, she finally matched with a man named David. They hit it off immediately and had a lot in common. David was kind, funny, and always made Jessica feel safe and comfortable. As they went on more dates, Jessica began to feel like she could trust David. He was honest and open about his past, and never made her feel like she had to hide anything from him. It wasn't long before they were officially dating. David was everything that Jessica had been looking for in a partner. He was kind, understanding, and always made her feel like she was the most important person in the world. They shared a deep connection that she had never felt before. Eventually, David proposed to Jessica and she said yes. They got married in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by their loved ones. Jessica knew that finding true love wasn't easy, but she was grateful to have found David and to know that they had each other for the rest of their lives. Looking back on her experience with dating apps, Jessica knew that there were risks involved, but she also knew that there were good people out there who were just looking for love. She was grateful to have found David and to know that she didn't have to be afraid anymore. Years went by, and Jessica and David continued to grow closer and stronger as a couple. They built a life together filled with love, laughter, and new experiences. They traveled to new places, tried new foods, and pursued their passions together. Jessica felt like she had truly found her soulmate, and she couldn't imagine her life without David by her side. They supported each other through the ups and downs of life, and always found a way to make each other smile. Eventually, they decided to start a family and welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world. Jessica felt like her life was complete, and she knew that she had found the happiness that she had always been searching for. Looking back on her experience with dating apps, Jessica realized that even though she had gone through some difficult and scary situations, it had all led her to David. She knew that if she hadn't gone through those experiences, she might have never found the love of her life. Jessica wanted to share her story with others to remind them that even though there are risks involved with dating apps, there are also rewards. She wanted people to know that it was possible to find true love, even in the most unexpected places. In the end, Jessica's story was a reminder that sometimes the scariest experiences can lead us to the greatest joys in life.